What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Grant Sylvester and I am a virtual real estate investor who talks with his hands quite a bit. You can't see that, wow, because my hands are out of frame. Anyways, and if I can do this, then you absolutely can do this as well. And welcome to my channel. This is another weekly update that I give within my own business. This is like exactly what is happening week to week on my own team of one and how things are progressing. My desire for this is that you can look back and see, man, Grant was just getting started. This is where he was at with his business. This is some of the struggles that he had with his company, and he was able to overcome those. And if he can do it, I can do it. And here's how we did it together. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. As always, guys, the very first thing we start off with is lead generation, because that's where it all starts off with, is generating leads. Today was a good week for that. We prospected on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It was super busy on Monday with Labor Day, but 5 out of 6 days was pretty good, and we prospected for about 2 to 2.5, 3 hours per day. We did some SMS, we did cold calling again. We also had some really good conversations with sellers, and it was a good week for cold call. I don't know why I keep saying we. It's just me for right now. But had some really good conversations with sellers. I set a goal last week, 5 offers this week, and I did not do that. So this is my second week in a row of not making any offers, which is a very, very bad thing. That's not a good thing. The goal is to make offers. So I've been a bit hesitating on my underwriting process, still trying to learn the market that I'm in. But absolutely, there's no excuse. Got to start shooting my shot and send out some offers starting this upcoming week. And once again, because I didn't make 5 offers this week, I have to make 10 offers next week. So I'm going to make 10 offers. All right, I want to do that. I'm going to make 10 offers this upcoming week on different leads that I have coming in. And I probably have enough. I think I have at least enough leads for 4 or 5 offers that I'm going to continue generating and having conversations and make, hopefully 10 offers next week, and we'll see what we get under contract. That'll be exciting. One struggle that I had this week on the lead generation side was probably the quality of lead. I'm getting a lot of people saying they're interested in selling like later, within the next 4 to 6 months, end of the year, springtime of next year. So I'm getting a lot of leads that are saying that. I'm still counting them as lead because ultimately they do want to sell, but I would like to have some leads that are a bit more motivated. Maybe I should start pulling different types of lists. That's one struggle that I've had this week. The next thing I want to talk about, number 2 on the list, is marketing. I haven't quite figured out, like, where do these big wholesalers get all of this data from? At what point in time do you just start pulling, like, you just pull a whole city, a whole county, and you're really just sorting through them, and then you're not even really filtering for motivation, like a tired landlord or tax default or whatever. You're just pulling a lot of data, because how I'm looking at it, there's only a certain amount of data per county or per area, and hopefully you're in a big enough city or a big enough area that has a lot of data. But where, like, the market, it seems to run out. So I haven't quite figured out a solution for that. But as of right now, the 3 lists that I pulled, one is a tired landlord list, and these are for single family, no multiple. This is single family, non-LLC. So these are just regular people who do not have an LLC, a company, or a trust that own property and consider a tired landlord. The second list I pulled was the opposite of that, which was, well, no, not quite the opposite, but it was also a tired landlord list, but this one was an LLC. So these are individuals that have a company or business, a trust. They put these properties within an LLC. And so I targeted that list. And then the last list that I targeted was similar to a tired landlord, but this one was high equity. High equity list, absentee owner, and people who actually lived in the properties as well. So I targeted those 3 lists over the last week and a half to 2 weeks. And thus far, I've been generating some really good leads. There have been some really good conversations that have come from that. And I'm super excited. I'm going to pull some more data over this weekend and get a skip trace and get it ready. All right, guys, the last thing I want to talk about today in this week's video is budgeting and money, because there's often sometimes something that I don't see that happens, or people just don't talk about a lot. Like, how skip tracing is expensive, and these systems and softwares add up over time, and you have to be able to afford to do them for a period of time before your deals start coming in. So right now I'm using an SMS platform called Launch Control, and that is $397 a month currently. And then the second program that I'm using is Call Tools. That's around $118 a month. It's $100 for the software, and then it's an extra like $18 or $20 for the total amount of phone numbers I'm using. So I'm using around 10 phone numbers whenever I dial out. And right now, the data that I'm using is from it's from batch leads. So I'm spending around $100 for that as well. So that's however much that is added up. That's how much I'm spending just on softwares and subscriptions, just the platforms to be able to perform the marketing. And then my CRM that I'm using is Podio, and that's free. And I've been able to kind of tweak it and customize it a bit for me, but it still needs a lot of work. But we're not really focusing on that. And then skip tracing. No, this isn't. I don't know that I'd recommend this yet. I'm still testing it and trying to see if it's viable. But right now I'm using Fiverr for skip tracing. I went through, talked with a bunch of the sellers on Fiverr who offer real estate skip tracing, and I was able to go in, send one guy a couple lists. He skip traced them for me. And skip tracing, of course, is drastically cheaper. So like batch leads is like 15 or 18 cents, or 20 cents, however much it costs. That's pretty standard. Like all across the board, a lot of skip tracing companies will charge between like 15, 16, 18 cents, 20 cents per record that they find someone for. And right now, I'm getting a lot less than that, like around 8 to 10 cents per lead, and that saves me a lot of money. But I want to get good data, so I'm trying to find the balance, and I'm testing it. Like I'm split testing it to see like is the data like that much better or worse than what I could get if I use a more reputable source like a batch leads or another company that offers some skip tracing. So I will continue to keep you guys posted on that little journey that I'm testing right now. And so far the results have been surprising. Yeah, so that's on the budget side of things. All right, guys, that wraps up today's video. Once again, my name is Graham Sylvester, and I'm a virtual real estate wholesaler. And if I can do this, then you can do this as well. I promise you guys, it's super simple, not easy, but it's super simple for sure. Go out, take some action, make a few mistakes. It will most likely be okay. It usually always is okay, for me at least. And I will see you guys in the next week. Have a good one.